living entity is part and parcel of the supreme living entity, or the supreme spirit, the supreme Brahman, the supreme person, the supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. We are all part and parcel. So just like if you take a small piece of pie from the whole pie, that pie is going to have the same qualities. It's going to have, if it's an apple pie, it'll have apples and sugar and cinnamon and a nice crust with butter. It'll have the same qualities. So similarly, we're part and parcel of God. We have the same qualities of God, but in minute quantity. He's unlimited. We have a more limited nature. So by the process of God consciousness or Krishna consciousness, by the practice of the different devotional arts, we actually absorb ourselves slowly but progressively more and more in the Dharma or occupation. Dharma means the quality of a particular object that cannot be separated from the object. Just like fire gives off heat and light. You cannot separate heat and light without having fire. So similarly, Dharma, or the occupation that we have in relationship to God, is rendering service. This is known as Sanatan, or eternal Dharma. So as we serve God, whether we offer Him with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, fruit, or water, as He states in Bhagavad Gita, He recommends in Bhagavad Gita, or if we chant the 700 verses of the Gita, or if we sing the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, or if we bring a beautiful offering of some kind of beautiful devotional art that we made for God. Whatever we do, if we do it as a sacrifice for God, this is the practice of Krishna consciousness and the expansion of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is the original consciousness of the living entity. But unfortunately, due to contamination with the material elements, when we take birth in the material world, we become affected by the modes of ignorance, by the modes of passion. Even we become affected by the mode of mundane benevolence or goodness. And then beyond that, by the contaminations of the modes of nature, which are dominated and inflicted upon us by the association with Prakriti, what I explained earlier, by material nature. By associating with material nature, these elements, these modes affect us, they control us, and then before you know it, by associating with ignorance and passion, lust may develop, anger, greed, wrath. So many unnatural, unbecoming characteristics or qualities may actually afflict us like a disease afflicts us. So then by the process and the progressive development of devotional works, we clean the heart of those very, very contaminating qualities. Just like I gave the example earlier of a mirror. If the mirror is not cleaned properly at certain intervals in time, then more and more dust may accumulate on the mirror. And if you leave a mirror unclean for 10,000 years, there'll be a lot of dust.
Definitely.
And when you go to look at your face in the mirror, you may not get a good perspective of what you look like. Similarly, the consciousness of the living entity, which is the symptom of the soul, consciousness is the symptom of the soul. That consciousness becomes covered by the dust of all of these bad qualities. So to clean the mirror of the consciousness again, we have to do devotional works. So this is the development of Krishna consciousness. Ultimately, the living entity on the topmost platform of development, on the topmost platform of love of God, has perfect and undivided, unmotivated, and uninterrupted concentration on Krishna or on God, incessantly. It's constant. The associates of God in the spiritual realm, or in paradise as we may say, they only think of their love and their relationship with God and His associates and their associates. They never think of other things that bring upon them misery. It doesn't exist in the spiritual realm.
Okay, wow. Pretty deep. What